going on, everybody? It's Jazz the CEO with another Healing from Entrepreneurship video. Today we're going to talk about a little story of mine, how I made a bad business deal, how it affected me emotionally and mentally, and how I kind of got through that through entrepreneurship later on. So I made a bad business deal. Yeah, it was real bad. Basically, I believed someone for face value, didn't put it on paper, and then didn't have a backup plan either, right? I'm not really someone who believes in plan Bs because I want my plan A to work. So therefore, I do everything in my power to work for that plan A. It's a tractor. Basically, I made a business deal where it was supposed to be a real estate deal and a business deal together. I got a building, couldn't afford to buy it, but the people wanted a bunch of services from me that I used to do at the time. And they were saying, if you rent it, you can rent to own. Here's the terms, da 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 da. Now they did a rental agreement, like a landlord type rental agreement, but the rent to own and the business part wasn't in on that agreement. And I'm thinking, because I don't really know my way around yet, I thought, oh, maybe that comes later, or oh, we don't need it because it's a deal, a handshake deal, word of mouth. Pause. It's 2023. Do not do handshake deals. Unpause. Basically, during this deal, I got sick, super sick. And we'll go into the sick part in the physical damage and all that stuff later on in another video. But basically, I got super sick and I couldn't provide the free stuff that I was providing for this family and their business. And because I couldn't, everything that was in the business deal, in the building and everything was based off everything that I could do physically, whether it was doing videography for free, photography for free, throwing events for free, doing this, doing that. The whole house was based on me doing those things. Now, to a naysayer, they'll say, oh, well, if you couldn't provide what your part of it was, then that's why they didn't provide their part. But listen, I can't stop a hurricane and I can't stop an illness, right? So if we're doing a deal based off friendship and family and things like that, when something of Mother Nature or a God event happens, I'm expecting you to have some sort of empathy. And that's my fault, right? That is my fault for thinking that way. So when it happened, I asked for some grace on the rental part, saying, hey, I can't perform these physical duties right now. So I need some grace. I need to, I'm in the hospital. I'm doing this. And I mean, I could barely walk, right? I have rheumatoid arthritis and I could barely walk. So at first it was like, okay. But then it was like, oh, well, this sickness is taking too long for me. So because this sickness is taking too long for me, I now can't use you. And therefore, I no longer need you. And therefore, the deal is off. Now, the deal wasn't stipulating on, oh, if you get sick or, oh, if you can't do this one time, the deal is off. I never knew that part. And eventually, not even eventually, maybe the day I told them that I couldn't do an event and I couldn't do this, that, and the third, they were like the next day, well, listen, if you can't do that, you got to be out by such and such date. Got to be out, but I'm supposed to be renting to own? That's crazy. Can't work out some sort of other deal? That was crazy to me. So then after that happened, of course, no longer friends with them, no longer talking. I moved, and the emotional impact that it had on me was my feelings were hurt, right? My feelings were hurt because I made a mistake. So I was mad at myself. I was mad at them. I also was sick. My finances were in an array. It was just a tornado, one thing after another. Lost my car, lost my girlfriend, lost my house, lost the business, lost all kinds of things. So later on in life, when I decided to start a brand new business, I was scared to take risks. I was scared to make business deals. I no longer did handshakes deals, which is not that bad of a thing, but I was also scared to spend money. I was scared to take risks. I was scared to get a new car. I had the money to get a new car. 3 years later, maybe even 5 years later after this situation, I needed a new car. And I was absolutely terrified of getting a new car because of that situation that happened 5 years ago. 5 years ago. You know how much fear added up between then and 5 years? So much, guys. And so many other people deal with that. They make one mistake in business or two mistakes in business, and then they go I don't want to try again. I don't want to do it. I failed. Therefore, I am not capable. That is not true. Some things work out and some things don't. In entrepreneurship, you have to continue. You have to keep going. I tried this doing a content house. I tried this. I was doing a TV show. I was doing all these things. And now I own a security company. We're 3-4 years in and it's successful beyond my wildest dreams. But if I didn't take that chance on trying again, because when the idea was brought to me to start my own company, I said no. And I didn't even know why I said no. But later on, with journaling and talking to myself and talking to friends and family, I realized I didn't want to do it because of that one situation 5 years ago that was a failure. And there was a lot of things that I did wrong that caused that failure that I wouldn't do today. We have to use these failures as a learning experience, a stepping stone into the right way, not a stepping stone into the dark, into behind closed doors, into shelter, into fear. We can't live through fear. If you're a Bible person, you know that we don't walk by sight. Okay? We walk by faith. And if you don't have faith in yourself, and you don't have faith in God, or whatever it is you have faith in, then you won't be able to perform your work type duties, let alone perform your personal duties. And that's why they're intertwined. You have to heal from these situations in your past in order to get to your next level in your future. And that's in your personal life and in your business life. People like to separate it. Yes, separate your personal finances and your business finances, but your mindset and your thought process in life is going to affect your business. Because you know it's going to affect your business, this is your time to do what I call an audit. What you want to do is an entrepreneurial audit. You want to take the things that you may not have thought of in years and write them down. Things that made you feel unprotected in business or in personal, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. Write those things down. Work through them. It might take you a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 months. It doesn't matter. Start the process and physically write them down. And then go, how do I protect myself from that situation happening again? For me, in the situation I just told you about, I put everything in writing. Now that's going to protect me financially. That's going to protect me on the business side and personal side. Then I make sure that my ducks are in a row. My bills are automatic. I have credit. I have savings. I have investments. You know, things like that. So when I do get sick, if I get sick again, I won't lose everything because now everything's protected. Some people create trust. Some people put their LLC in a trust so that they can protect themselves financially. It's different practical applications for everybody in every situation. It's time to take a life audit. It's time to take an entrepreneurial life audit. So what happens in your personal life doesn't affect your business in a negative way.